welcome to Nkumat Online Academy. In our last lesson on simultaneous equation, we talked about linear equations where we have two unknowns and we are using simultaneous equation to solve it, that is solving for the two unknowns at the same time. A linear equation is one in which the highest power is 1. For instance, if you have x plus y is equal to 2, here the highest power of x is 1, x raised to power 1, and highest power of y is equal to 1. So this is a linear equation. Now if we have one that the highest power of any of the unknown is 2, we call it a quadratic equation. Assuming we have x raised to power 2 plus y is equal to 2. Here, the highest power of one of the knowns, that is x, is 2. Therefore, this is a quadratic equation. Now, when we have a linear equation and we have a quadratic equation, and two of them, they contain two unknowns, we can solve two of them together using simultaneous equation. For example, now looking at this, we have two equations here, equation 1 and equation 2. Let's call this one equation 1 and let's call the other one equation 2. Now equation 1 is a linear equation because the highest power is 1, while equation 2 is a quadratic equation because the highest power is 2. Now to solve this simultaneous equation, we start with the linear equation. We make one of the unknowns the subject of the formula. Now let's make x the subject of the formula. From that equation 1, we can say that x is equal to, we take y to the other side, we take this y to this side, so x is equal to 2 plus y. Now when we make one of the unknowns the subject of the formula, we put the value of it, that is this, into the equation 2, in the second equation. So in the second equation, where we have x squared plus 2y is equal to 3, so we are now going to have that we use this as the value of x, so we have now we square it. Now we clear the brackets. If we clear the bracket, we're going to have we use this power here and square this one. It becomes 2 raised to power 2, and use it to square this one. It becomes y raised to power 2. 2 raised to power 2 is 4. This 2y, that is this one. Then everything is equal to 3. Now we rearrange it to look like normal quadratic equation. We start with the highest power. Now, in quadratic equation, we always have 0 on the right hand side, so we have to bring this 3 to this side so that we have 0 here. Okay, so this will now eventually give us plus 2y (4 minus 3 is equal to 1). Now we factorize this. To factorize it, we ask ourselves, what are two things that when we multiply them, it will give us 1, and when we add them together, it will give us 2. 1 times 1 is equal to 1, and 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So we have 1 and 1. We use those values. That is, it is now going to be 1y times 1y, which is equal to y. That is y and 1y and 1y. So 1y means y. That is y and y. Now we use this y and y and replace this. So we have just like we did when we were learning quadratic equations. Now we group them. Now after grouping, we find the common factor in the brackets. For the first one, we have y here, we have y here, and we have y here. What is common here is y. So we bring y outside in this first bracket, and what is common here, anything standing on its own is times 1. So y is like y times 1, and 1 is like 1 times 1. So 1 is common, so we bring 1 outside the second bracket. So we have y squared divided by y, we get y, and y divided by y, we get 1. The second one, 1 is common. Now we group the ones outside the brackets and take one of the brackets. That is, you combine this one and this. It is the same thing as what we have inside brackets. So we take one of the brackets. Now remember that everything is equal to 0. Now that means that y plus 1 is equal to 0 for this bracket, for the first bracket, and for the second bracket, y plus 1 is equal to 0. So they have the same value. So that actually means that y is equal to, here, if y wants to stand alone, it becomes y is equal to the one we come to this side. It has positive, so it becomes negative. The same thing with the other one. So y is equal to minus 1 in the first bracket, and also y is equal to minus 1 in the other one. So that means basically, since we have the same value, that y is equal to 1. Now remember that in some quadratic equation, you get 1 as the root. Some you can get 2 values. we are just taking minus 1, sorry. Y is equal to minus 1. So we are just taking one of the roots because two of them are the same. So this is how to solve one linear and one quadratic kind of simultaneous equation. Now your assignment.